Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Megan.
I'm Joel.
I'm Matt.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We are just getting finished with taking care of the animals this morning. The last thing we needed to do was collect eggs, and we just finished. Now, we already have got the farm market all set up and filled up, and we're just about ready to head out to the fields. We're just getting some orders finished off, but once all that's taken care of, we'll be able to start picking. Now, the first thing on the list for picking today is gonna be broccoli. This is where our last planting of cole crops was put, and everything is growing really nice here. We did have a little bit of an issue with deer damage earlier on in this planting's life, but as you can see, they didn't do too much damage. It was just like a nibble here, a nibble there. We were worried it was gonna be more, but thankfully it wasn't. Now, for those of you that weren't with us during planting season, we plant about 3 to 4 varieties of broccoli. Now, the interesting thing about the varieties is they're all different day maturity. Some broccoli is 57 day, some broccoli is 63 day, and so on and so forth. And the reason for that is so that our entire crop doesn't come on at one time, or everything's not ripe at the same time. Because if all this broccoli was ripe at the same time, that'd be a problem. Not that we couldn't sell the broccoli, I'm sure we could find a way to sell it all, but as you guys have seen, we have so many jobs on the farm, it'd be kind of difficult to get it all taken care of. However, planting all of this broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage in different varieties really saves us when we start to get busy. This broccoli had split in half. I mean, it's technically one broccoli. These aren't even offshoots. It just split in half. It's kind of cool. Look at this broccoli that Dad harvested. This is a big one, and it's heavy. Whew. That should about do it with broccoli. We got a few baskets picked. Now, as you guys saw, we did take all the leaves off the broccoli and throw them onto the ground. We have tried to sell them in the past. There wasn't really a market for them. They weren't able to sell. And we could take all of these leaves back to the farm and give them to the animals, but what we like to do is take these leaves and just leave them in the field. Now, a lot of the nutrients that these plants need are actually found in the leaves of the plants. So what we'll end up doing is composting them into the ground, and then the crop that will be here next year will be able to benefit because of that. So rather than doing all the work of taking them back home to the animals and feeding them to the animals, we like to just let them lay right here. Now, there are times where we will take stuff back to the animals, but we don't do it all the time.
Deer love cabbage.
Yeah, if you think the deer love corn, you should see the way the deer treat cabbage. No, that one's kind of young. It's soft. While I'm harvesting, what I am doing before I cut, you always see I put my hand on it, and you probably just think that's for me to move the cabbage, but I'm feeling how tight the cabbage is. If the cabbage is loose, that means it's not finished growing. So when I put my hand on, I'm always squeezing to see how tight the cabbage is. This one's a little on the looser side, so we're not gonna take it. After we got finished with broccoli, we moved over to cabbage. As you've seen, these heads are pretty nice, but that's because we were running irrigation on them through the hottest parts of the year. If we did not have irrigation, we would not have had our final crop of cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. Thank goodness we had it. Yeah, cauliflower grows white, but if the sun hits it, it starts to turn yellow. Daniel, do you want him to just dump it in? Dump it in the bin, Petey.
Rather than pick up Andrew.
We got all our cabbage and our broccoli loaded onto the truck. Earlier on in the year, the cole crops did not look nice, so this is really making up for it. This cabbage and broccoli looks beautiful. But we need to move on to our next job, which is picking red bell peppers. And remember, when I say we're picking red bell peppers, we're basically picking anything with color. But if we can find some peppers that are all red, that would be a bonus. I don't know about you guys, but I think these pepper snaps, they've been sounding pretty crispy lately. I think we got some nice weather. That's what's helping us. Well, that wasn't too difficult. We got all of our red peppers picked. As you guys have seen from the past few videos, we've been harvesting peppers pretty heavily. And the reason for that is because it's prime pepper season. A lot of customers have been picking them up, which is a big bonus for us. But it also is a reason why we plant all the plants that we do. Because if we didn't have all the plants we did, well, we wouldn't be able to supply all the peppers we do. Our habaneros are looking nice. Look at all the orange coming. There we go. I smell the spice on them. A bug just punched my eyeball. We made our way over to our next job. That's going to be harvesting pickling cucumbers. However, Daniel just went home because we got a call from the girls. There is no sweet corn back there. So he's going to grab a bin and then we're going to get some sweet corn. Right here. Right there.
At noon, I gotta go over to the farm.
You're the guy who's supposed to know. Yeah, you're the classic tractor guy. He's like, I don't think they're classics unless they're 50 years old. That's the way it works. We got about halfway out through the field and then Daniel showed up with the tractor. You heard us mention there's no sweet corn at home. So we're gonna get the sweet corn picked, then we'll be able to finish off the cucumbers, if it's not lunchtime. Just got our bin of sweet corn finished. This field that we've been harvesting the sweet corn out of has given us a lot of sweet corn. It is getting closer to lunchtime though, so what we're gonna do is get everything loaded up. We're gonna take it home. All right, everyone, we made it in for lunch. We are having pulled pork sandwiches and salad. Looks good to me. We got done with our lunch and we got everything unloaded and into the cooler. We had some things to take down around back, which Daniel is finishing up. Then we're gonna be heading back to the fields. If you remember, right before we left to harvest the corn, we were getting our pickling cucumbers harvested. We didn't finish off the rows, but we're gonna finish them now. And I mean, you probably can tell, but Gavin is now out here with us. He was taking care of the horses this morning, and now he's helping us do some picking. There's chaos in the cucumber field. Daniel, tell him what's going on.
Me and Dad are picking in the same basket. I threw pickles into the basket and it moved it, and Dad threw pickles at the same time, so they all went flying everywhere. Well, my pickles made it in the basket.
Daniel, it's not all about you. Sometimes you got to figure out what's worse than picking pickles once. Do you know what it is?
I didn't pick those pickles, though.
No problem then.
So as you guys have seen recently, it's been kind of like a switch. We were dealing with dry, hot weather. Now we've been dealing with cooler, rainier weather. It has affected the vegetables a little bit. I know, for example, we have to start really worrying about disease, but it also affected our vegetables in a way that you can't see. Now you guys probably didn't notice anything too different as we were harvesting. Everything looks kind of normal, but the cucumbers are a little softer than normal. And it's not an issue, it's just a change from what we've been dealing with. Cucumbers, along with other fruits and vegetables, usually have a lot of water inside them. In fact, a high percentage of what a cucumber is made of is water. So when you have extra rain, well, your cucumbers become saturated. And when you get a lot of rain quickly, well, whatever produce it is tries to pull in as much water as possible. And that actually makes it that some of the vegetables get softer. Now, water is good. In fact, it's really, really good for your vegetables. But too much water, that's where the problems can start. Now, is this a problem? Not necessarily. It's good for our crops to have water, but what that can do is it can cause these vegetables to spoil a lot sooner because they have so much water inside of them. Now, water is good. In fact, it's really, really good for your vegetables. But too much water, that's where the problems can start. Fortunately for us, these cucumbers are near the later part of their lives, so the water won't affect them too much, but it's just something interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. Not too bad for a cucumber crop that's starting to get pretty old. What's that saying? You can't teach a cucumber crop new tricks or something? No, you can. If I'm being 100% honest with you, that rain really helped us out. And if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been able to grow this channel. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, liking the video helps us out a ton. Check it out. Look at all these cucumbers. Ooh-wee. Are we making salsa? Is this hot or mild salsa?
Hot.
Ooh-hoo-hoo. Hot, hot salsa. Look over here. Grammy's got more tomatoes ready to go. Now, I'm not gonna leave you guessing anymore. The next thing we're gonna be harvesting today is gonna be pumpkins. Now, the farm where we have our pumpkins, the pumpkins are really back in, so we've gotta drive a little bit to get there. But it's just crazy that it's time to start harvesting pumpkins. Where is this year gone? Yeah, go down through here. We're gonna try and get all these bigger ones. Okay, I'll just go down and through and start clipping, okay? Okay. Now this area right here is where we have all of our pumpkins. This section right here is where we're gonna be starting with. We have some larger ones in here. Nothing too crazy, but there are some really nice sized pumpkins in here, like this one. Wow, that is a big boy. So the plan is to go through and clip off the tops of the pumpkins and get everything picked up. But this is an exciting time. You know why, guys? Because Matthew got a new hat. It's got the thingy now so it doesn't blow away. Watch. It's still on. So because I have clippers, my job is gonna be going through and clipping off the stems so that Matthew can come through and grab the pumpkins. But if you see any big ones, grab them. Ooh-wee! Look at I think that might be Cronus. Look at this one. Yeah, look at this big boy. Yeah. Now here's an issue we don't like to see. Look at that. This is what the deer will do to pumpkins. They'll bite a hole in the flesh, and then they try and get to the inside, and they eat out all the seeds and the stuff you normally would scoop out. There's a lot of nutrition in there, and the deer know it. And they really will clear out some pumpkins. We expect to be seeing a lot of that. This area is pretty secluded, so the deer kind of like it. Look over here, look at this large pumpkin. Oh yeah, they were munching. See, the problem is a lot of these pumpkins, the deer will bite when they are green, and then as they orange up and mature, it leaves scabs on them. They don't look as nice. But we're gonna pick basically everything here because whatever we don't sell, we'll give to the cows. Pumpkins are really good for cattle. There you go. We just went down and cut pumpkins and came back another side cutting pumpkins. Now we're gonna start loading up. There are certain areas where there's more pumpkins than others, but the dry really affected us this year. But whatever we get, we'll be happy with. Well, boss, how do you feel about picking pumpkins?
I'm not ready to pick pumpkins. I'm not ready for summer to be over.
I love picking pumpkins. When we're just picking small ones, I don't enjoy that as much, but when you're picking big ones and you just fill a bin in like 30 seconds, that's fun.
Matt's a big boy. That's why he likes big pumpkins.
What a nice son you have. Did you see he put that bin lower for you so you didn't have to lift it so high? Oh.
It's getting towards the end of the day. He has to.
You want to just start at the other end for the other bin?
Daniel just grabbed our fourth bin. Now we're trying to get all the pumpkins that are closest to this wooded section picked up. We're worried that the deer may come out here and be like, oh, fast food, someone picked them for us. And then munch, munch, munch. But we're gonna try and get these picked up as far as we can. We only have one more bin to fill, but we just want them away from the wooded area. As we're walking out through the field here, we are seeing some nice pumpkins. We got quite a few here scattered about, but we are noticing quite a bit of deer damage. Now in this location here, there's not too much we can do about it. It's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Maybe next year, won't plant pumpkins here. We planted pumpkins here like 2 or 3 years ago, and they were beautiful and we had no issues. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because it was dry this year, the deer really bothered them. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I got inside the farm market and I saw Callie, she was helping mom. I wanted to bring her out and show her the pumpkins. Ooh. Slap. What are you crying about?
You're taking all day.
We had had some tomatoes that we were sorting, and all the bad ones we threw to the cattle, so they're pretty happy. But now we're just working on getting everybody fed tonight. What's up, buddy? You enjoying those maters? Hey, everyone. What's up, Jacob? Looking good, buddy. What'd you do that this turkey was staring at you?
Pretty handsome, ain't I?
Hey, I don't think I've told you in a while. This Makita tool set has been handy.
There's someone who occasionally stops in and gives Dad Makita tools. How does it make you feel?
They are very valuable to me. I love them.
That just goes to show, if you bring Dad something, he will appreciate it. Powder in the shredded. I'm sorry, that was an accident. Crisis averted. I got the cheese. Where's my pants? Oh, this is all I needed to hear today. Well, everyone, there's no debate on what we're having for dinner. Got some noodles with meat sauce. That looks pretty good. Callie is over here eating some dinner, relaxing. Ooh. Well, everybody, we're all sitting down for dinner, so you know what that means. This is where we're going to end the video today. I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.